Tell me that you were an oops baby.
My biological parents put me up for adoption at birth. Following my birth, they had 4 more children that they kept. They have since remarried and both have several stepchildren from their new marriages. And to this day, most of my biological family does not know I exist.
Tell me that you were an oops baby.
I have 2 older brothers. One brother was born in 1972 in April. The second brother was born almost exactly 2 years later in 1974 in April. After my second brother was born, my mother got an IUD called a CU7, so it's a piece of copper that's shaped like a 7 that goes into your uterus, so you won't get pregnant again. For the next 5 or 6 months, my mother is having a lot of discomfort because of this IUD, especially while they were having sex. It would actually hurt my father. So when my brother was about 6 months old, they went to the doctor to have that IUD checked, and wow, they're pregnant with me! My mother was given the option to remove the IUD, which would then terminate the pregnancy, and she said, hell no! So when I was born, there was a copper IUD shaped like a 7 in my placenta. And there's research that suggests that that copper IUD could be why I have infertility.
An oops baby, without actually telling me that you were an oops.
My mom found out she was pregnant with me the night before she was supposed to go in to get her tubes tied. And the nurse called her to tell her that she couldn't get the procedure done because she was pregnant. And all my mom could say to the nurse was, fuck you, that's not funny.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually
I can do that. Family picture. A picture of me and my sister, and me, and my niece.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually telling.
My sisters are 10 and 15 years older than I am. My dad was in jail. He got let out for 1 day only on my mom's birthday in September. That's when I was conceived and born in June.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually telling me.
So to start this off, my oldest brother and I are 18 years apart. All 3 of my siblings are 2 years apart from each other. As I've said in a previous video, that my mother had me at 44. My wife's mother and my brother went to school together. I was born after my mother got her tubes tied. Like I said, at her being 44 years old. By all means, I should not be here right now. I grew up basically having 5 parents, because by the time I was out of diapers, all my siblings were out of high school, which is probably why I'm the big black sheep of the family, and why I don't get along with any of them. And just to add insult to injury, my brother was my principal growing up in high school. So when I said I grew up with 5 parents, I grew up with 5 parents and I didn't get away with shit. So yeah, calling me an oops baby is putting it fucking mildly.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually telling.
I am an identical twin.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually telling.
So, I'm 9 years younger than my youngest older sibling, I guess, if that makes sense. My mom and dad didn't think they were able to have kids. My mom had been cut, burned, and tied for almost 10 years. As I said, 9 years younger. I'm the baby of 4. And, yeah. My dad has no other children. And my mom had no more after me. If that's not an oops baby, I don't know what is. Just for the fact that my mother might see this video because I'm tagging her in it, she calls me a miracle baby, not an oops baby. So it's a good part to it.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually telling.
The year was 1987, and my mom decided to go get her tubes tied. And then she went to go check to see how everything was going, and they were like, oops, I guess they untied because you're pregnant. And then there was me.
Tell me that you were an oops baby, without actually telling.
My mom was the babysitter.